Good morning all. Last class we have discussed about the definition of charge, what do we mean by charge, what do we mean by different properties of the charges and all. Today we will discuss about the method of charging, different method of charging. So listen carefully. Different methods of charging. Right. There are different methods of charging. You should note it also. One is your conduction method. Second one is your frictional method. Friction. Third one is your induction method. There are three methods of charging. I want to charge a body. How to charge? By conduction we can charge, by friction we can charge, or by a method of induction we can charge. So one after one we will discuss about the method of charging. First let us discuss about the conduction method. So what do we mean by conduction? You see, conduction is what? Suppose one charge body is there, suppose a body is there, charge body, and I will keep another body over it. Conduction is what? The body, one body is kept over another body. One body is kept over another body. One surface, one body is kept over another body. So this is the process of our conduction. The uncharged body will get charged. Charged body will transfer. Charged body will share its property to the uncharged body if the uncharged body is kept over its surface. So suppose if we discuss about the conduction, so this is one of the method of charging. That one body, charge body, conduction body is there, body A, this is the body A, and it is a charge body, suppose. This is the body, and another body is kept over it. This is the B body. This is the B body. If B body is kept over the A body, then the property, the character, the behavior of the body A will transfer to the body B. So if this body A is a charge body, then after some time, after some contact, whenever the body A is coming contact with the body B or B is coming contact with the A body, then what happened? This B body will get the property of the A body and it will get charged. Though this is a method of conduction process, the conduction process of the method of charging means what? Whenever a charge body is coming contact with or in touch with another body, then the second body will get charged. Second body will get charged or will behave after some time like the charge body, like the other body. So this method of charging is called as what? Conduction method. Okay. So whenever a charge body and another body are keeping contact with each other, they are coming contact with each other, then after some time the charge body will share its characteristics property to another body. After that what happened? Another body, the second body, here second body is B body, will receive the property of the first body and the body get charged, and that process is called as what? That method of charging is called conduction method of charging. Okay, that method is called as what? Conduction method of charging. Now what happened? The second method is what? Your frictional method. Which method? Frictional method. Frictional method is also one of the method of charging. So you see body A and this is body B. Now what happened? Body A is there, charge body is there. This is one of the body, and body B is another body, and this body B is slide over A body. Slide over the body A. So B body is get slide, or this is a friction is occurring. One body is here, body A, and B body is what get slided. So I am sliding this body. B body is sliding over this body A. That means whatever the property behavior of the body A get transferred to body B, and by this method also, because of friction also because of sliding method. Also the charge can be possible, okay, charging can be possible, and that method is called as what? Frictional method. That method is called as what? Your frictional method. Okay. So you see, if you consider one glass rod, okay, one glass rod is there, glass rod. Suppose it is rubbed with a silk cloth. Rubbing is also sliding. Rubbing method is what? Also a friction. Sliding method is what also? It is a friction. So a glass rod rubbed with silk cloth. मेरे पास what happened? Suppose the silk cloth is there and I am rubbing the glass rod. Okay. What? Rubbed with what? A glass rod rubbed with silk cloth. So that time what happened? After that rubbing, when glass rod rubbed with the silk cloth, then glass rod is becoming positively charged body and silk cloth is becoming negatively charged body. That means it is a method what? That method is called as frictional method. That method is called as what? Frictional method. Okay. So what happens here? In this process, suppose glass rod, why it is positive, you see? Suppose these are having excess of electron. Glass rod having excess of electron. Okay. So this excess of electron transfer to the silk cloth when it is rubbed. This is what? Glass rod. What is maximum in glass rod? Excess is glass rod. Electrons. Electrons are maximum. Electrons are excess in glass rod. So this electron get transferred to the silk cloth because excess electron transfer. After excess of electron transfer means what? I am telling the losing of electron. Glass rod losing electron after rubbing with silk cloth. That means it is becoming positive and silk cloth is deficiency of electron. Silk cloth is deficiency of electron. So it is accepting from the glass rod and becoming what? Your negative. So here one method is that the friction method is also a method of charging where one body gets slided, one body gets rubbed with another body, and due to friction the method of charging also possible. Due to friction also one body can share its charge to another body. One body is charged body and another body is uncharged body, and these two bodies are sliding over another body. One body is sliding over another body. Uncharged body is slided over another body, rubbed with another body. So what happened? The property of the charged body transferred to the uncharged body. After some time, this uncharged body will behave like a charged body. The same kind of property will be so. So here what happened? How to become that it's a positively charged body and negative charged body? Once again I am repeating. So this is a body. This body having excess of electron. This body having excess of electron. These are called as excess of electron. Excess of electron. Okay. Whenever it is rubbed with another body, this excess of electron transferred to here. Here this body is what? Deficient. There is no electron. This is called as deficiency of electron. Deficiency of electron. Okay. So this excess electron will transfer to the body. Suppose this is body A, this is body B. Body A having excess of electron, body B having deficiency of electron. So after rubbing, what happens? This excess of electron will transfer to the body where deficiency is there. So when in course of when during this rubbing period, one body is rubbed with another body, so this electron will transfer to this. This electron also losing, transferring this. So what happened? This method is what? Losing. This body A is what? Losing electron. Yes or no? So body A is losing electron, body B is what? Gaining electron. If it is losing, then it will become positive. If it is gaining, then it will become positive, negative. If it is losing, then it is positively charged body. Okay. If it is gaining, then negatively charged body. We can say this is negatively charged body. So how do you explain that body is positively charged body or negatively charged body? Whenever charge lost or charge losing from one body, if one body having excess of electron and charges are transferring from this body to another body or losing from this body, then due to loss of electron, losing of electron, that body becoming positively charged body, and the other body which are receiving the electron or accepting the electron, gaining the electron, they are called as your negatively charged body. So, friction is also that method of charging where one body rubbed with another body, one body slided over another body, one body do friction over another body, then due to friction, due to method of friction, due to method of sliding, due to method of rubbing, whenever the body transfer the charging from one body to another body, then that method of charging is called as frictional method, and the electricity produced due to this method of friction is called as frictional electricity. Electricity produced due to method of this friction is called as what? Frictional electricity. What electricity? Frictional electricity. We can say the method of friction, due to method of friction, the electricity produced is called as frictional electricity. Due to method of friction, if the electricity produced, that electricity is called as frictional electricity. That method is called as frictional electricity. So, frictional electricity is the electricity which is producing. It is also no doubt, it is a static electricity, the producing due to friction. One body under friction with another body, then the electricity produced is called as what? Frictional electricity. Okay? Clear? The third method is what? Induction process. What is that? Induction process. Induction process. Induction. So, what is induction? Suppose a body is there. This is the conduction body, this is charge body, suppose body A. If I am bringing another body, body B, near to it, I am bringing another body B to body A, near to A. That means this body is realizing, experience a force of interaction due to body A. Means body A is at its position, it is a charge body, you got it? Body B, if I am bringing this towards body A, then this body B will experience a force of interaction whenever it is coming to body A, nearby. So, whenever it is realizing some force of interaction, from that we can find out that this body is what kind of charge body. From that we can find out the one body is inducing its charge, other body get induced. Suppose this chalk is a body, suppose body A, and this duster is also body. Duster is body A and suppose chalk is body B. Suppose. So, I am bringing this chalk towards duster, and this duster is suppose moving away. Duster is suppose moving away as I am bringing the chalk towards it. That means force of interaction experienced by this chalk or the second body is what? That the same charges is there. That is why what happened? A force of repulsion taking place. As I am bringing this chalk towards the duster, a body B towards the body A nearby each other, then this body A is moving away. Body B is closer, then body A moving away. That means what? This body B experiencing a force of repulsion. Okay. Now you see body A, that is duster is there, and what happened? Body B, chalk is there. Now I am bringing this chalk towards the body B brought to body A. That means this body A is inclining towards the body B. That means it is what happened? Attraction of force of attraction taking place. When this body B is coming closer and body A is moving away, then force of repulsion taking place. Whenever body B is brought near to body A and this body A is coming, inclining towards that, attracted, that is force of attraction is taking place. So like that what happened, we can consider with the method of charging, that is here called was what? Induction method. What method is that? Induction method. So again little I will explain more. So what happened, you see body A is there. Why it is happening, you see body A is here. If it is a charged body, it has a field, it has a great field. It's a field is there. So within this field, whatever the body will come, it will experience by a force, either by a repulsion or force of attraction. Suppose this is positively charged body. What kind of charged body is body A? Positively charged body. I am bringing this another body. Suppose it is suspended. This body is suspended. Body A is suspended like this. A body is suspended with a rigid support. This is body A. Body A. Now another body I am bringing here. Suppose this is body B. Now this body B is outside of this field. This body A having a particular region or space within which we can realize its force of interaction. So now a body B is outside the field. Can this body B will realize the force? No. That means what? I am bringing now, I brought up to that, there will be no force of interaction, no realization taking place. So method of charging is not taking place. If I bring here, the body B is brought to here. This is body B. Here whenever the position I am changing it where there was no force of interaction because this body B previously out of field, out of the region. Now this body B is within the region. Then if it is what happened? Returning back. This body A is what happened? It is repelling back. When as this B body is coming towards this B body A, that means this is the force of what? Repulsion. From a long distance within a field, if one body is realizing a force of interaction, okay, due to another body, that method of charging is called as what? Your induction process. That method is called as what? Your induction process. So this body is inducing, this body get induced. So this is not moving away, this body is not moving away, and this body is, suppose it is coming to this direction, get inclined. Suppose this body is coming like this. Okay, that means what? This is not repulsion. What force I can write? This is your attraction. This force is called as what? Your attraction force. So once again, suppose I have suspended a body and I am bringing another body. This suspended body move away as this body is moving towards this body. Then this is a case of repulsion. That means this body which body is brought near to the charged body is positively charged body. That's why what happened, this charged body, suspended body get moved away, because suspended body is a positively charged body. And if the second body is brought near to it and a first body is moving away, means what does it mean? The same charge is there. That's why I can confirm that this body is, what kind of charged body is there? Positively charged. See, if suspended body is moving towards, inclining towards this body, second body, that means suspended body positively charged body. And this body, suppose towards this body it is inclined, that means what? This body is negatively charged body. So force of attraction takes place. So from here we can find out the principle of electrostatic. What is the principle of electrostatic? Like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Please write down this principle of electrostatics. Principle of electrostatics. Is that like charges repel, and unlike charges attract. Unlike charges attract. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract is called as the principle of electrostatics. Fundamental principle. Fundamental principle of electrostatics is what? Like charges repel and unlike charges. How many charges are there? There are two charges. One is positive charge, other one is negative charge. There are two charges. There are two charge, fundamental charge. One is positive charge, other one is your negative charge. Positive charge and negative charge. And their principle is what? Like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So what does it mean? You see, if I have positive charge, another positive charge is there, then this is the force of repulsion. I have negative charge, other negative charge, then this is the force of repulsion. Okay? Here that force of interaction takes place. What is the name of the force? You know, Coulomb force. Later on we will discuss that. The Coulomb force. What force? Coulomb force. Coulomb force. C-O-U-L-O-M-E. C-O-U-L-O-M-E. Coulomb's force. Okay? So this is repulsion. This is also repulsion. And if positive charge is there, negative charge is there, and this is your attraction. Negative charge is there, positive charge is there. This is the force of attraction. So unlike charges attract, like charges repel. Okay, right? So this is the method of induction process, how the charge can be induced. Charges can be induced. So it is a particular region is there. Within a particular region, what happened? And one charge can induce to another charge. One charge body can induce its charge to another body. Suppose there is a particular region, and within that region, what happened? Some charges are there. Okay, suppose positively charged body is there. So it has a particular region, particular space within what we can realize its influence. Another body is what? If it is within that region or charge, within region or field, then this body can what happen? Induce its charge. Induce without physical touch, without friction, within a distance apart, within a region or space, whatever the interaction will take place, that method is called as what? Induction process. And we can find out this principle of electrostatics from there. What is that? The like charges repel and unlike charges attract. One small contradiction is that like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So like charges can also attract. Principle of electrostatics said like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Question is, can like charges also attract? Answer is yes. It is a special condition. You must remember that one big region of the positive charge, positively charged body, big region of the positive charge body, big size of positively charged body, and nearby one smallest positively charged body is kept none. So due to the induction process, the smallest region of the positive charge get inclined towards the bigger region of the positive charge, which is seen as attraction. It may not attract directly, just like this positive charge, negative charge get attracted towards each other. But if there is a region of the positive charge region, big positive charge region and smallest positive charge region. So what happened? The smallest charge region, due to induction process, it get induced due to bigger region and get inclined toward that, and it looks like attraction. It may not attract directly, but it looks at attraction, and we can answer like this: yes, like charges also attract, but in case of induction process. Otherwise, this fundamental principle of electrostatic is correct. Like charges repel, and always maximum cases like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So these are all the principle of what? That is the method of charging. Next we will find out this after this method of charging. Let's go to the property of the charge. Next point is your properties of the charges. One of the most important properties, let us discuss the additive property of the charge. Additive property. Okay. What is additive property? So, whenever a body having a particular charge, if the same charge or sub charges are there, can be added off in that body. Suppose if I take body A, this is the body A, it has some charges. Body B, it has some charges. If I will join it, if we will make together to it, so what will happen? The position like this, body A, body B. Are yes or no? The amount of charges, whatever the amount of charges are there in this body, okay, can be get added up. Can be get added up. So what happened? This method of charging, this method property is called as additive property. I have a body A having some charges, body B also having some charges. So whenever they get put together, then charge of the body A and charge of the body B will be at a place, and that method is called as what? That property is called as what? Additive property. That method is called as what? Additive property. This is one of the property. Clear or not? Any doubt? Second property is what? Conservation of charge. Charge remain conservation. It is conservation of charge. Conservation of charge. Conservation of charge means what? Suppose just like conservation of energy, energy neither can be created nor can be destroyed, it only converted from one form to another. You know conservation of energy, what is that? Energy neither can be created nor can be destroyed, it only converted from one form to another form. Just like conservation of charge is there. Suppose I have a body A, if I have a body A and it has some charges, so whatever amount of charge present in this body, it will remain constant, it will remain conserved. It will remain conserved due to any action reaction taking place by any means. By any means, any reaction taking place, any action taking place, then again what happened? The total charge present in this body will remain same, remain conserved. Okay. So that's why what we can say, there is a conservation of charge. Charge present in a body always remain same, always remain conserved, just like conservation of charge, just like conservation of energy. Charge present in a body always remain same, always remain conserved. It will not get lost due to any action or reaction by any means. Any disturbance produced, any reaction took place, then that body never lose its amount of charge. Charge always remain same. Okay, this is what method of conservation of charge. This is one of the property. One more important property is that quantization of charge. Third property is quantization of charge. What is the meaning of this quantization of charge? This word quantization come from quantum. This word come from quantum. Quantum is what? Quantum means packets of energy. Packets of energy. Quantum means packets of energy. Right? Energy always available in the packet. Energy always available in the packet. So the charge also available in quantum form. That is called as what? Your quantization of charge. So total charge present in a body. Suppose this is body A. What amount of charge is present? Q amount of charge is present. The symbol of charge is what? Q. Symbol of charge is Q. Capital Q, small q. So what is that? Total number of amount of charge is present here. So this body quantized with charge. This body A quantized with body charge. So this charge quantization Q is equals to written as plus minus any. Charge may be positive, charge may be negative. That's why it is written as plus minus any. What is n? N is equals to integral multiple. That is 0 plus minus 1, 0 plus minus 1 plus minus 2 dot 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 dot. Integral, integer. What is that? Integral multiple. Integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So what happened? E is what? Magnitude. Suppose E is what? Magnitude of charge. Magnitude of charge. E is what? Magnitude of charge. What are the different charges? Positive charge called as photon. Negative charge called as what? Electron. Okay. So here I can write the electron value is equals to minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Coulomb is the unit of charge. Now E plus, that is proton of P, we can write that is plus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Mass of the suppose electron I will talk, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Mass of the proton if we will talk, then it is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So this data you should remember this. Here in case of quantization, if we will talk about that, that is what? Q is equal to plus minus Ne. So n is the number, E is the magnitude of charge. So in a body, how many electrons are there? We can calculate it. If Q amount of charge is present in a body, then how many electrons are present? Also we can calculate accordingly. So let's see it. So that's why this is called as what? Quantization of charge. Quantization of charge means what? The amount of charge present in a body are available in a quantum form or can be quantized. Can be quantized. So that's why if, say a small problem, if 1 coulomb of charge is in a body, 1 coulomb of charge in a body, then what is the number of electron? What is the number of electron present there? What is the number of electron present there? Suppose if we consider that this, I am removing this, if this body having Q amount of charge and this Q amount of charge is 1 coulomb, then if this body is having 1 coulomb of charge, how many electrons are present here? Okay. So we know the formula, Q is equals to Ne. N is the number of electron, Q by E. So what is Q? 1 coulomb. What is E? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Now in the mathematical calculation, you know, coulomb will cancel. Then what happens? 1 by 1.6 into 10 to the power, it will go off. In denominator 10 power minus 19, it will go to numerator, what will happen? It will plus 19. Plus 19. 1 by 1.6 divided, how much you will get, you see? I think 0.625. How much you will get? 0.625 into 10 to the power 19, which is equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power 19. That means if 1 coulomb of charge is present in this body, how many electrons are there? Total electrons will be 6.25 into 10 to the power 19. So we can calculate like this. We can face the numerical problem like this. We can calculate numerical problem. If 1 coulomb of charge present in the body, if this is the body, 1 coulomb of charge is present, how many electrons are present? So by using this quantization of charge formula, Q is equals to any formula, I can calculate N is equals to Q by E. 1 coulomb of charge is present, so 1 coulomb by this one, 1.6 Magnitude of the charge already I have mentioned. E value is equal to how much? Magnitude means what? Electron magnitude is 1.6 into 10 minus 19. Proton magnitude also 1.6 into 10 minus 19. So magnitude, in magnitude all are positive. So I have divided this and check this answer, it is correct or not. Okay. So like this. So I am using here some word, I am using this coulomb. 1 coulomb, 1 coulomb. What is this? The unit of charge. So please remember, let me tell that also, units of charge. Units of charge is two types. One is your SI unit, other one is your CGS unit. SI unit or CGS unit. In SI unit, I am talking about coulomb. COULOMB, symbolically C. SI unit of charge is coulomb. Symbolically, we can represent it as C. And CGS unit, in CGS unit, I can write this is two types. One is your electrostatic unit, ESU. Other one is electromagnetic unit, it is EMU. ESU means what? Electrostatic unit. Electrostatic unit. EMU means what? Electromagnetic unit. Once again, ESU is what? Electrostatic unit. EMU is what? Electromagnetic unit. So you see, ESU means electrostatic unit, which is called as start coulomb. Which is called as start coulomb. Okay, that is ESU, the CGS unit of charge, called as start coulomb, and EMU. What I can write? Electromagnetic unit. That is your half coulomb. That is called as what? Your half coulomb. Up. What coulomb? Half coulomb. So ESU, electrostatic unit, start coulomb. EMU, electromagnetic unit, half coulomb. And we can find out the relationship between the units of charge. Okay, waiting for relationship between the units of charge. Okay, you see, ESU 1 coulomb is equals to, remember, 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb or ESU, and 1 coulomb is equals to 1 by 10 half coulomb, or it is called as what? EMU. Can you equalize it? 1 coulomb is this much, 1 coulomb is this much. 1 coulomb is 3 into 10 power 9 start coulomb. 1 coulomb is 1 by 10 half coulomb. So if we will combine this, then we will get 1 by 10 half coulomb is equals to 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb. So here 1, therefore 1 half coulomb is how much then? 3 into 10 to the power 10 start coulomb, that is your electrostatic unit. 1 EMU is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10. Sorry, 1 EMU 3 into 10 to the power 10 ESU. This is the relationship. In the relationship, what I can write? 1 EMU, electromagnetic unit, is equals to 3 into 10 to the power 10 ESU, electrostatic unit. This is very important. Please remember this. Then 1 coulomb is 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb. We can say this electrostatic unit. 1 coulomb is 1 by 10. 1 by 10. 1 coulomb is 1 by 10 half coulomb also. So 1 by 10 half coulomb is equals to, what happened? 1 by 10 coulomb is equals to, there is 3 into 10 to the power 10 start coulomb. 1 by 10 half coulomb is 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb. So 1 half coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 10. So this half coulomb is how much? EMU. This start coulomb is how much? ESU, electrostatic unit. I have written here. EMU means electromagnetic unit. So what is the relationship between start coulomb and up coulomb? 1 electromagnetic unit up coulomb is equals to 3 into 10 ESU. This is about your relationship between your units of charges. Okay. So in next class we will discuss about another properties of this frictional method, how this just we will revise it, and we will go to Coulomb's law, Coulomb's force, Coulomb's law or Coulomb force of interaction. Okay. Next class, and before that you should read it and come. If there is any doubt, you can note it and come. We will discuss in the next class. Okay. Thank you.